Hi folks, I haven't done a video for quite a while. I've been really busy helping a buddy who builds trailers in my garage, so been helping doing that. But a few little updates on the 2022 KTM 300XC. We've a little bit of a process with this bike, and it's been interesting because I've really only done stuff because it's failed or hasn't worked properly. And this is probably a bike that I've done the most work on to try and keep the thing going, and it's only got 105 hours on it. And it's not specifically a problem with KTM, but it's just been one of those rides. I bent the radiator really bad once, and in my video I had to replace the tube inside the frame here. The standard collar for adjusting the shock is so poorly made out of really shitty plastic. I put one of those adjusters on so you can quickly adjust the preload on the spring. Decided to run the Dunlop AT81EX tire, thinking that, hey, you know, it's tried it on some other people's bikes and it worked okay, but when the rocks are really warm and sort of, you could almost say the rocks were sweating, this tire is pretty much useless. But it's good on really wet rocks and dirt. Like it just hooks up in dirt like something crazy. So I'm going to keep running it for a few more races and see what happens. The saga of the radiator tube continues. It put me out of a race, had a stack high speed, was doing really well at the local piston run race, pulled the whole shot, got jousted, made up a couple of places, and then had a downhill crash pretty fast. Put the hose back into the power valve cover, which then of course cuts the hose. And now I've replaced the hose and wrapped another bit of hose around it with a zip tie around it. Now I noticed on the 2023 models they actually aim the pipe up quite steep. So it aims up away from the power valve cover, which is now electronic. Now the other thing that I did is I got a really sore wrist when in the last race from really cranking on the throttle. What I've done is converted it to just a single cable on the throttle body and put the quicker cam in the throttle, so it's only really about 1/8 of a turn, not even onto full throttle. It may sound pretty aggressive, but it's not. When you ride it, you just compensate for it, and it's really good. The other issue that I've been having was the forks. Had that 4CS square edge hit, toyed around with different things, didn't revalve it, really didn't think it needed it, but talked to Rod at RMR. He recommended dropping the oil level down to 200 mils, which I thought it had anyway, but it turns out that it may have had a bit more in. So what I did is I dropped it down 180 mils of oil in each leg, and oh my god, it fixed these forks. They are just plush, beautiful. The dampening adjustment, compression and rebound works really well for the adjustment, really noticeable. It really fixed this fork up really well. So really happy with the result and dropping the oil level down 180 mils. Highly recommend doing that with the air fork for enduro riding. The other thing that happened is I broke the clutch perch on it. Broke it right across here a few months back, and thanks to Spencer Wilton, he owed me a clutch master from riding last year, and he sent me a 9mm one instead of a 10mm, and it gives a really nice clutch feel. It's much more progressive. It's much better to be using the clutch off-road, so I highly recommend using the 9mm clutch master. Other than that, everything else is still going well. Yeah, it's still kicking ass. I've got some foot pegs coming that are down 5 and back 5 because these factory foot pegs really don't last very long. So other than that, just the normal sorts of things. Replacing these with the aluminum one instead of the plastic one makes a big difference. But other than that, yeah, I'll put any more updates on later on down the track. Thanks for watching.